Exam season is around the corner. The panic, the anxiety, the depression, the overwhelming feeling of exams is now just 3 months away. How do I manage? How do I cope? Well, these are the questions that millions of students up and down the world, from left to right, east to west, north to south, will be asking is, how do I manage to do well in my exams? Especially when procrastination, when just not wanting to sit down for hours and study is taking control. Well, in today's video, we are going to be breaking this down into 3 simple steps. Not 5, not 7, not 10. Just 3 simple steps on what you can follow to guide you to academic excellence. Now, if you want to apply these 3 skills in other areas of life as well, be my guest. But these are going to be extremely effective whilst helping you study and motivating you to achieve the top grades. So, without further ado, let's get into today's video. Point number 1, practice makes perfect. Now, this may sound cliche, but it goes without saying. The more you do something, the better you will get at it. And this saying has been around since the dawn of time. A lot of people underestimate the power of this quote, but it certainly hasn't been said just for the sake of saying words. Let me clarify that. The reason why I put so much emphasis on this quote, practice makes perfect, is because a lot of people are in denial. Why we're in denial? Only time will tell. But one thing I can say for sure is the extreme amount of procrastination that we all undergo as students is one massive contributing factor to this whole bubble of anxiety. Anxiety around exam seasons has also been something which every student year on year has felt. I mean, when I was sitting my GCSEs and A levels, I was feeling the same. But what is it that I did that was different to other students that helped me reach where I am? Now, a lot of students work hard. Unfortunately, some students just don't get the result that they were hoping for. But does that mean that we stop trying? Absolutely not. The whole mechanism of practice makes perfect is we keep going, we keep driving. And one thing that I will always say is you only lose when you give up. Now, that is something very important to remember. Because once you give up, once you have admitted defeat, then the levels of procrastination will only increase. So by making sure that you continuously practice, whether it be 10 questions, 5 questions, but you are making sure that you are doing little by little each day, and build on that and work from that. A house is never built within one day. First, you have to set the foundations right. And the best way to set the foundations right in this context is by creating an attitude of positivity, by creating an attitude of being motivated, and by driving your confidence through positive talk. Now, this could happen through looking into a mirror and talking to yourself and telling yourself that you are capable of achieving the top grades. There is no one who has not done this technique and not seen the benefits of it. I always tell myself that I will succeed. This mantra is not just to be said with hollow words, but actually with words that have meaning. Success can mean different things to a lot of people. But what you do to achieve and obtain that success is how you will become happier, more confident, and have improved self-esteem. So, point number one, practice makes perfect. Point number two is know your environment. Now, this is a crucial point which not many people really discuss. It seems to go sort of under the carpet when it comes to any form of motivation to study, or whether it just go from tips and guidance on how to achieve the top grades. But a lot of people don't realize is that understanding your environment is crucial in order to accelerate yourself towards success. Now, success can be defined in multiple ways, as we previously mentioned, but the environment that we put ourselves in is a crucial factor. This could entail the friends that you have around you. Now, if your friends are of those who aren't really motivated, aren't really driven towards achieving academic excellence, financial excellence, whether it be sporting excellence, it does not matter the criteria that is required for success in that particular department if your environment is wrong to begin with. So, creating an environment where you have those people who are on the same path as you, wanting to achieve similar success as yourself, you can learn and bounce off one another. You can understand where you're going wrong because they will be able to see that and inform you about your wrongdoings. Similarly, you can also be of benefit to your friends by using this same technique. And this is how we learn from one another. The human race from the dawn of time has always been herd in nature. Now, what this means is we tend to follow what those around us are doing. We tend to see a trend and we tend to hop on that trend. We tend to see a video that's going viral, and we will try to recreate that video with our own twist to ensure that we get the same virality as that video. And this is something which is human nature. So by utilizing our human nature for our benefit is through this whole bubble of understanding your environment. And that is point number two, know your environment. Point three is know your exam paper. Now, exam papers come in all sorts of different forms. Some are multiple choice, some are long form answers, some require you to draw diagrams and label diagrams. And these are all different types and different forms of questions that can come up with an exam paper. Now, the biggest downfall for a student is when you don't understand the exam that is in front of you. You don't understand the layout of the exam. You don't understand how to tackle the exam. I was speaking to a student through our company Study Healthcare, which was around the 11 plus. Now, the parent was quite confused that their child was not understanding how to do the 11 plus exam, despite the teachers at school telling them that they were one of the best performing students within their class. They had the highest grades, but when it came to the 11 plus, they were struggling. Now, this is a child who is very academically intelligent, has a lot of intelligence around understanding words and numbers, but why is it that when it came to this particular exam, the child was struggling? Now, that is related to the exam and understanding and knowing the exam paper. So, that child, of course, struggled to know the exam paper. And what we did was we went through the exam paper with the child, whilst the parent also understood how to best teach their child as well. And what we found was that when the child went back to the tuition that they were having for their 11 plus, they did far better in their next monthly exam, and the tutor was completely surprised at how within a month this child had turned around their exam grade. Now, it isn't rocket science to say that if you know the game, you most likely will do really well. And that's why those who are the best performing athletes, best performing professionals, they understand the game. They understand what they are doing, and they understand how best to use tactics to be number one. And that is something which you also need to learn, is know your exam paper, know the techniques used, and you will succeed. And this is point number 3, know your exam. So guys, if you enjoyed watching this video and these 3 techniques that will hopefully lead you to excellence, then be sure to subscribe to this channel and like the video if you enjoyed what you heard, and share with family and friends, and let's spread these points, these tips and this guidance to help support those around us. The best thing you can do is to share the knowledge and gain the reward of sharing information. So, without further ado, guys, stay curious, stay blessed, stay healthy, and I will see you on the next one.